Hey guys, what's going on? I am back out here again today at Bosch's brand new headquarters with Steven. We're going to be talking today about the current e-bike trends, Bosch's perspective on it, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're getting into today. Steven, thanks so much for taking the time again today to sit down with us. We always appreciate it.
Happy to chat with you, Scott.
So yeah, I guess the main things we think about are, where does Bosch see this going? You guys have invested obviously pretty heavily into the market. You got headquarters in Irvine, huger headquarters in Germany. I guess what made Bosch so kind of bullish about the e-bike market in the first place, and where do you see it going in kind of the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think e-bikes are a very important part just in the future of mobility and the future of how people are going to be getting around cities and communities going forward. And what we've really seen in the US in these early years of the e-bike business is how many people appreciate an e-bike for recreation or for sport or for exercise or just having fun on a bicycle. And yeah, we're very optimistic about it. We've seen how fast it's grown here. We know it's the fastest growing segment in the bicycle industry today. And what's really surprised us is in Europe, how much it just continues to grow. And that shows us, a good path forward for us here in the US as well for e-bike potential. We're still very small compared to the size of the e-bike market across the Atlantic.
I guess definitely that seems to be the case. And what's interesting to me about that, I don't know. I feel like there would be. It seems like Americans would have like a bigger like gung-ho attitude towards it, just 'cause like we're all about like new tech and stuff like that. I guess what do you think is kind of holding back the e-bike industry right now? Like, what are things that are going to make it? Like what can we do as e-bike consumers to kind of like help the market flourish, and if it's something we love, help it grow.
I think, and I'm philosophizing here a little bit, but I think as Americans we sort of forgot the role that an e-bike or that a bicycle can play in your regular life. And in Europe, the bicycle maintained an important role in regular life, where people were riding around their communities on bikes. They were using bikes to get to work, to drop their kids off, all these things. And in North America, we built a bike culture that was largely about exercise and largely about sport and racing and mountain biking and these things, which is an awesome sport culture that we've developed around this sport. But for the average citizen, what we need to do is show them again the role that a bicycle can play in regular life. And e-bike makes that so easy for people to bring cycling back into their daily activities, whether it's commuting to work again or just going on a quick ride with friends, people who hadn't biked for years, getting back into it, dropping kids off at school on bikes, all these things where the e-bike can really make biking more a part of our culture than it has been in the past for regular activity.
And Steven practices what he preaches too, because you're on a Turn GSD, right? You take your kids around on that. You're telling me a lot, which is very cool. I think that's an excellent point, is that it has been kind of not bastardized by like the regular community, but it is very sport focused, right? I haven't really thought about that. Talking about sport and all that, because EMTBs are becoming a part of like the sport culture with the Boogaloo and like a couple other competitions. What's your guys' kind of perspective on the Class 1 versus Class 3 situation, trail access and stuff? What can we do to help trail access, do you guys feel like? Because a lot of the limitations just come from not us, but the outside world not wanting e-bikes around generally. So what have you guys found like works, and what do you think we can do better as consumers to like make it work?
So a lot of it is just education. So we've found that once people have had an opportunity to try a Class 1 e-bike and understand, that this isn't an electric motorcycle, that it behaves very much like a regular bicycle, and that it interacts with other bikes and hikers on the trail the same way a regular bicycle would, that then those barriers come down. So we've seen all over the country different land managers deciding to allow e-bikes on their trails, and that just takes time. That takes giving people a chance to ride a bike, and it takes discussions and just open conversation with land managers about e-bikes. And it's really important that people understand the different categories of e-bikes, that when we talk about e-bike access on a trail, we're not talking about something with a throttle that could potentially be ripping up the trail, or something that's going 28 miles an hour. And we're talking about Class 1 e-bikes that are maxed at 20 miles an hour and ride quite similar to a regular bike.
Yeah.
And I think the more we have that discussion and the more people understand the different bikes, we'll continue to see this trend to more access for e-bikes.
Yeah.
We've seen it, we analyze or look at the perspective of your traditional riders towards e-bikes, and it's something that continues to get better each year. It's something that becomes more and more accepted as part of the overall cycling community or the cycling sport. You mentioned e-bike racing, something we'd never thought of when we first got into this, but it turns out you give people something on two wheels and they're going to figure out a way to race it, right? Sure, and where e-mountain bikes have gotten more popular, and something we thought was actually pretty cool. So together with Troy Lee Designs, we started the Boogaloo e-mountain bike race series, and it's it gets people back into racing who maybe weren't doing it before.
Absolutely.
It's a level playing field. Everybody's got an e-bike. You've still got your strongest, most skilled riders are still the ones who are winning, but people who maybe hadn't done a race for a long time just because they were sort of past their racing prime or getting back into it, and it's really fun events to see people getting into.
What else are you most excited about moving forward? If in Bosch in general, what's the vibe around the office in e-bikes in general? What are people excited for? So
what I love about being with Bosch is we don't manufacture bikes, right? We only manufacture the electronic components, and we supply those to dozens of companies around the world. And what's so exciting for us is seeing the cool things that people do with them.
That's cool.
Whether it's these cargo bikes we're starting to see more and more of, people delivering pizzas on bikes with our system, or police departments using bikes with our systems, or resorts or hotels, all these cool things that people are finding. This whole community is building up around e-bikes and all these new styles, and you've got the trikes and the vintage looking bikes, or the bikes for super tall people, everything, custom titanium bikes with the Bosch system on it. It's just so fun to see the industry come around to electric. You've got people like Fox coming up with e-bike specific suspension. You've got DT Swiss coming with e-bike specific wheels, carbon wheels, box component. So many people are starting to realize the importance of e-bikes, and the whole development around it just keeps getting cooler.
Well, we've got a busy man here.
Sorry
Thanks
about
so
that.
much, Stephen, for taking the time. I think that's some great points, and it comes down to us as e-bike consumers. What you want to see, create it, and also the e-bike world you want to see, you can create that too, just by educating people. Thanks again, Stephen, and we'll see you guys next time. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment below, let us know what you thought. Give us your thoughts on what's the most exciting stuff coming up in the e-bike industry, and what you'd like to see more of. All right, we'll see you guys next time.